Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. We haven't made a video in 2 weeks, but it's just been the time of year where you can't get anything done because one minute it's muddy and the next minute it's freezing cold. And we made some new improvements to our vehicle fleet. So we picked up a Dodge Durango Citadel. This thing is amazing. I've never had a car that has had every button doodad in it, but this thing is impressive. The best part about this car is, in our area, they retail in this condition from between $27,000 and $30,000, and we paid about 1/3 that because this car is an R title, and the damage to it was absolutely minor. No frame structural. Literally all they did was put a new bumper, grill, hood, and airbags in it. And everything else is fine. I have all the documentation to prove it. And I think it was well worth the purchase. So, backstory. The reason we bought this car is because the Jeep is going to go away. We've put like 40,000 miles on this Jeep, and this brake caliper decided to lock up on us on a hour-and-a-half drive. Really made things interesting, and I've put brake calipers on this Jeep. This will be the second full set that goes on it because that is notorious Jeep problem. But we're gonna put a new brake caliper on that, new rotor, because it's for sure warped now. The big booty Judy Cummins is amazing. Did great. Didn't even know it was back here. But yeah, it's dirty. The oil undercoating all over it. But it's full leather, standard, ready to go. 70th anniversary. Needs a deep cleaning because 2 kids. And we'll get that cleaned up. Get it on Marketplace, ready to go. As you can see, we got the other 3500 04 sitting over there on 35s. Love that truck. And the 2500 6.4 gasser with the 6x6 sitting over there. So we finally have a nice day. It's 40 degrees. It's supposed to get up to 60. It's the warmest it's been up here in a while. If you look off in the distance, we still have snow. Natural snow. That's not piled up. That's natural snow up here on the mountain. But we're gonna get some stuff cleaned up around here and have a Sunday where we're actually kind of productive. So just stay tuned to the channel and we'll get the Jeep unloaded. Oh, one thing I wanted to tell everybody about. If you have a car trailer, these straps with the axle binders, I have used these a pile and they are awesome. I added these to the haul trailer recently. Those made life a lot easier because I was running these through these pocket holes. That sucked. So I think it was like $100 for 4 or something like that. Maybe it was way cheaper. I can't remember. Definitely worth it. Straps easy. I've done everything in the past before. I got the gooseneck up there. You know, you have to run chain binders and chains and all that stuff for the tractor and the equipment that I haul around. But that's a pain in the ass. If it's under 7,000 pounds, the ratchet straps are the way to go. So, a couple things that I've learned over the years when you're hauling big stuff, you have a bunch of weight and you get flat tires, or you are off-roading and you have some issues, have tire chains on and they come loose and they catch a hold of stuff like brake lines. So, things I always carry with me: channel locks. You pinch off your brake line to your caliper, keep driving. Without those, you spray fluid, lose your brakes everywhere. Some other things, which you probably can't see, is just a jack. I always have a jack. I don't like using the this tool right here, if I can get it. I always use my own setup with a breaker bar instead of the stupid one that they give you from the factory. Factory jack works fine because it doesn't leak oil all over the inside of the truck. It's a screw jack. A good set of heavy duty jumper cables if you have a diesel. If you have a diesel truck and it's like it gets up here, negative temps for days on end, and it sits, you gotta come back to it after it's been sitting and it won't start. Heavy duty jumper cables. Definitely need heavy duty jumper cables. Gloves. It never hurts to have a good set of gloves. I have multiple sets of gloves and everything, multiple sets of safety glasses that are sunglasses and everything, so they have a dual purpose because you don't want crap in your eyes, especially if you're working on something. The other thing I always have with me is a military pack shovel. That has come in very handy, especially when you are stuck somewhere in the snow and you need to get out. So there's a couple things I always save with me, take with me everywhere I go, because it makes life a lot easier when you need them. They don't weigh a lot, so they don't take up a lot of space either. It makes it kind of nice. Another thing that I've used, surprisingly enough, is the right here, because I'm not sure if you've ever hit a deer on the road and it's still alive, but you really don't want it to suffer. So that comes in handy for multi-purposes, let's put it that way. And for a pickup truck owner, if you don't have at least 2 ratchet straps with you everywhere you go, then I don't know why you own a pickup truck, because obviously you're not hauling anything. So that's the quick pickup truck review on things to have. Trust me, comes in handy. So yeah, anyway, we're gonna get this unloaded and go from there. All right, let's change the wheel brake cylinder caliper. All right.
What do you think about that? Like, that seems to me like the, you know, look at those oddball comedy show now. They're doing like 20,000 seat places. And, you know, I was like, man, that seems like a lot of goddamn people who do stand up for it. Seems very strange. It depends what you like.
All right, while we wait for my wife to get back, Megan, so I can have somebody pump the brakes for me. Calipers on, brakes on. Don't think the wheel bearing's bad. I don't think it got that hot, but have to wait for her to get back and push the brake pedal down and bleed it off. Meantime, I'm gonna get it cleaned up and get it cleaned out until she gets back from her walk with our daughter, and we'll catch up with you after that. All right, we're doing ball joints on the Dodge. Oh, it's so much fun. But that's where we're at so far.
Nice. For me, put me in charge of the DC.
We're gonna blow it out.
Make me the Kevin Feige of the DC cinematic. There's a DCC. Put me in charge of the DC cinematic.
Now, I
Let's
know
see how
this
this goes.
about this.
Let's get to predictions. Aaron, go.
So my prediction is that we will see
It
a
never,
major class action
ever,
lawsuit
ever
against
goes that
universities, and I am going to make it plural. We just saw Rutgers today, come out
I
and say that they're going
should
to require students to get
videotaped.
vaccinated with the experimental COVID vaccine, but not teachers and staff. That's going to be repeated.
should
That
videotape
attempt
the other
is
side,
going to be repeated by
because
other universities. We're going to see a class action lawsuit by the
It
end
never
of the
goes
summer.
that easy.
Todd, you know, I'm going to echo
Wow.
that because it was
Well,
mine.
that was
But
super
thinking more about
uneventful,
this is
which is
intentional.
good, I
This
guess.
is like the court shopping that was done
But,
for Varnum versus Breed in Iowa. They're not just tripping into this.
just can't
This
believe
has
it
been
went that easy.
specifically chosen.
No, that's a
It's on.
pain. Well, we're gonna take that universal joint out because it's bad. I already did the other side a couple days ago, and you can see the tires are cupping, so that's why I'm doing this. OTC kit from Amazon.
And I mean, okay, we're just going to protect the minors. Chris,
Astro kit
2-year-olds in high school sports.
from Amazon. I think I got like $300 in both kits. If you own a Dodge and you know how to work on stuff, get it. It's gonna save you hundreds and hundreds of dollars in repair costs. Of course, you need all the rest of these tools, but if you work on stuff, you have all the rest of these tools anyway. So, yeah, we're just gonna keep working at this. I just can't believe it went that easy. That never ever happened. My favorite thing to get from hardware stores is something somebody else obviously had, pumped it full of grease, and then realized apparently it was the wrong one.
Yes.
Yes. All right, we'll come back. Feedback Friday.
And
is
now
next.
I'm at the
Stay
question of, what the hell did they do to
All right,
it?
we're back here with
And did
hour
they
two,
do anything
live
to
and on
it?
demand on
Because
Blaze TV, radio, and podcast. Steve Dace here alongside Todd Erzen,
I don't know.
Aaron McIntyre,
I'm
and
afraid
all of you.
they did something wrong.
Let us know what you think
Is this-
about what you think. Steve at stevedace.com is how you can do that. That's DEACE.
Seems
You
right.
can like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at
Nope.
Steve. If you're a small business just starting out as well, you're looking for a product called Bambi. Bambi is a service created specifically for small businesses like yours. That's BAMBEE. B as in boy. AMBEE. It's your dedicated HR manager, available by phone, email, real-time chat. From onboarding to terminations, they will customize policies to fit your business to help you manage your employee or employees every day. And it's all for just $99 a month. And it's also month-to-month is coming your way on Tuesday. Straight to paperback, which means it'll also be cheaper. So buy multiple copies. Get it in as many people's hands as you possibly can by bypassing the traditional publishing process, by not sending these out to every Barnes and Noble in America, for example. We're making less money on this up front. COVID-19. Every link you've ever wanted. There are more links and footnotes in this book than pages. Anything you've ever wanted to know is in this book. It is your one-stop. We'll tell you about those on Tuesday. All right. I don't know that there was a book on the right released this year or in the last few
And that's
years
it.
that's going to have more of an all-star panel of endorsements than this one will. And we actually are looking at Amazon.com, maybe
I've
the only
owned
place you're going to be able to get it.
Diesel trucks
At least as soon
for
as Tuesday. We're trying to get it into
15,
your hands,
16 years.
as many people's hands
Almost
as
all of
possible.
them
There will be
Dodges.
an audible version, which Aaron
And,
will read. There will be a Kindle version as well, but this releases on Tuesday.
I
Trust me,
honestly
this is what you've been
don't
waiting
know
for the last year.
how
Every
many
source,
ball
link,
joints I've done,
data point, everything you've
but
ever
it's been
wanted
a
about
lot.
this to end this damnable policy once and for all.
And this by far
This has a Avengers Assemble ring to it. Is that Thor's
was
hammer?
the
I just saw
absolute
fly
easiest
through
one
here?
I've had to do so
I mean,
far.
yeah,
For a factory ball joint.
It's only going to happen.
That's impressive.
What's our motto of this year, Steve? It's up to
They don't
us.
all. They never
The
go this
answer is
easy.
us. Yes.
The answer is us. That's what this.
The real data around the world is showing about COVID. I can't remember who did it. There was a survey that came out just a few days ago of media coverage of COVID-19 that showed our media in the United States was by far the most negative and panic-stricken on planet Earth.
No way.
Yeah. And in the midst of this, you know, we from the very beginning started asking questions. Hey, what's the law of unintended consequences here? What's the backside? Of
The other
this
thing is
equation?
crib up the frame
When you
so you can
start
position
taking
the axle where you want it.
civilization away from people.
Back with here.
And he lost his best friend, who was
Looks
a
like
recovery
bodies.
addict. And he had 2 institutions that got him through daily in his recovery. The church is closed. And AA,
Dumbass.
he was going to. And this book, in no way, shape, or form, attempts to minimize the dangers of COVID-19. Nor, however, does it blow them out of proportion either. And they have to be at the very least since last May and June, being as gracious as they can.
Well, instead of dragging you through this monotonous process of
On to
cutting these out
no more
and taking that
tragedies,
apart,
no more stories.
beating this all back together, we will just catch up with you after a bit.
Especially-
All right, quick tip when you're doing ball joints or universal joints. Get you this. Take an angle grinder and cut out on each side of the socket. Just cut this out with an angle grinder. Get rid of it. And then you can either beat out the caps, or I take the same press I use on the ball joints over here and just flip it over, push it through the other way, cuts it down. I found it the easiest way. It takes way less effort to cut this center mass out and then just pop it this way, then beat it with a hammer repeatedly with like sockets, and then you bust up your sockets all the shit, and you spend a lot of money on those anyway. So that's how I do it. That's what I suggest doing. It'll cut your ball joint time down a bunch, and I've done a bunch of ball joints every conceivable way possible. I've also used the method where you take your press, you know, and you put that in there. What I have had happen, and the reason I never do that anymore, even though theoretically it does work, is you have snap rings here that hold it in place. And when you put it in that press and you start squeezing down, any flex in here at all gets permanently squeezed together. So you actually turn this C and pinch it. And then you got to grind this out on the inside so you can get your lock pin, your snap rings back in here so that they don't come out. So I don't do that anymore. Just cut it, and then take this piece out of the way and cut it. You see where my angle grinder has touched it a little bit. It didn't really cut it, just marked it. But that's the way I do it. That's the way I suggest doing it. You'll save yourself a great deal of curse words and a great deal of effort. All right. I'm going to rotate tires, or at least give it a valiant effort. I don't really want to. All right, to give everybody an update, the other day we changed front brake calipers on the Jeep, and as you can see, it's in the garage. Well, what happened was both brake calipers ended up being needed replaced on the front. Took it for a drive, find out both back wheel bearings are bad. Also find out passenger side brake calipers bad. Well, pulled the axles and found out the diff oil was really dirty. After I pulled the cover, I did find out that, yeah, you don't have to pull the diff cover on the Jeep because there's a drain plug right there. So fun, yeah. But we got the pairings cut off, the old ones, and they are ready to press on. You know, this bearing, and then there's a new seal there. And I don't have a press, so I gotta take it, get pressed on, and then slide it back in the hole, get this all cleaned up so it doesn't, you know, works all good.
So your kids,
and then
your grandkids, if you're looking for a different
over
kind
here,
of gift, Annie'sKitClubs.com/Steve.
these don't come with gaskets anymore. You make your own. So got my RTV on there. Gonna let it set up a little bit, and then
On part one, before you do part
brake
two,
calipers. There's my diff oil. Gonna do an oil change, and we're gonna send this down the road. So, and my boy Steve Dace on the TV over there. So that's an update that what's going on at the moment. I haven't really been keeping up on it like I should, unfortunately. But that's where we're at. Get this cleaned up, get it ready to sell, and hopefully I'll have it all back together. In the meantime, I have an apartment that I had to fix the furnace in because the motherboard went out, so I'm waiting on that to come in to finish that project. And just various other things always just come up real quick when you have a whole bunch of stuff going on. So keeping the video process going has been difficult, but we will do our best. I'm trying to get it down from 3 weeks of video to at least one every 2 weeks. But we'll see how that goes because life is chaotic. So, one piece of advice is, if you have 2 little kids, put a sandbox on your back porch because that way it'll feel like you're at the ocean when there's sand all through your house. Hope you enjoy. Like, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this, and I'll talk to you later.